This is Zac and Rita, the podcast.
We're back! We were singing Scream and Shout during the opener if you were watching the video version.
What's the next line?
I don't know.
No, it's like something,
Scream
something,
and
something.
shout and let it all
No, but then it's like
out.
something, something,
yeah.
something, something. Will I am and Brittany, bitch.
I'd never heard that far. We're back. The podcast's back.
Yeah, so like just to start it off, obvious announcement, the name has changed. My name has changed. Yes, I've come out as gender fluid. I go by all pronouns and that's that.
Yeah, perfect. And on to the very first segment.
The very first segment of the podcast.
Since we've been gone, you haven't heard about our lives. So much has happened, yeah. So now we'll tell you what we've done since you've been gone.
That's really good singing.
Notice that I said since we've been gone at the start and then I said since you've been gone at the end. It was a mistake. And the funniest part about that mistake is I made it, listened back to the recording, realized I'd made it, re-recorded it, made the same mistake again, and then I was just like, fuck it.
I mean, yeah. At some point you do have to give up on an opener.
We've been gone and you guys have been gone. So it's
Technically it is your fault. The listener, they've been gone.
They just didn't care enough that we did a podcast.
Well, no, that's not true. I, for one, received multiple messages about the podcast. You wouldn't know.
No, because everyone always directs everything about the podcast to you because they assume I won't respond, which is true and even more true now because I have no access to my Instagram.
Yeah, you're locked out of your Instagram, which really doesn't help the podcast. You can't promote the podcast. That sucks a lot. You can't live your life on Instagram, which kind of sucks for someone that wants to get in contact with you on Instagram. But
It mainly sucks for me because I just want to post cool photos, but yeah.
And you know what the worst thing is? It's totally you're totally able to get back into it. You're just too lazy.
It's not a simple, press the reset password button thing. It's I have to contact Instagram. They'll probably require me to prove that I'm me or some shit and then hold up a photo of me holding a piece of paper with it. It's just a lot of effort.
Yeah, that sounds so hard. I feel so sorry for you. That would be such a hard thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yes.
It's not like you're not able to take a photo of yourself and write on a piece of paper.
No, I don't think I can.
But we were doing since we've been gone.
We've been gone. So, yeah, we have sort of defined, if you remember our last, not our last podcast episode, but our last release
was a very short break.
Zac and Gus take a quick little break.
It's been 7 months and we've changed the name.
And, yeah, so 7 months is now going to be added in the dictionary under the definition of quick little break.
Or maybe we can make the Zac and Rita dictionary and just have a quick little break is 7 months.
But that just means we can never take a quick little break again.
No, it doesn't mean that. Or we have to time it for 7 months. Or we could not release this for 2 months and redefine pregnancy as a quick little break.
Or we could take a tiny little break, which would be 3.5 months.
Well, quick. No, it could be anything. Just it has to be less than quick. But we've been gone, so you decided you would
6 months.
7.
No, 6 months and 29 days. That's a tiny little break.
Yeah. But you decided you would let us fill in the audience on what we've been up to. However, a big issue, you did not tell me to prepare for this. So I haven't really prepared.
Well, I just thought it would sort of be a given that we'd update people on what we've been up to.
Yeah, well, do you want to go while I kind of think of what I've been up to? Or
Yeah, righto. Well, I wrote a few things down, what I've been doing and such. Does anyone even remember us?
does anyone... I know, okay.
Comment below if you remember us.
I feel like they have to because they either follow the Instagram or follow the pod. It's not like this... It's been 7 months. It's not been 7 years.
Yeah, but it's also not like if Hamish and Andy just randomly stopped recording their podcast, people would notice.
Yeah, but it's not like we randomly stopped. We warned that we were taking a break.
True.
We did not give anyone a date on when we were coming back. No one had any expectations of us. The most we said was we will be back if One Direction do a reunion tour.
Did we actually say that?
Yes, we did. Go listen to it. And they haven't done a reunion tour, so we have
Because
beaten our
they
promise.
are fucking liars and we are not. We said we'd come back. We did. They said they'd come back on the James Corden show, whenever it was. They still haven't.
Quick fire.
So
How do
that's
you-
actually technically something that's happened since we've been gone. One Direction have not done a reunion
Well, no,
tour.
but the people that are following the podcast, they don't. It's not like they've completely excluded themselves from the world. They know that we're still in the pandemic and shit.
True. Well, there's updates related to that. I think there's been multiple lockdowns since we last recorded, but
Well, since we last recorded, it was March. So there's been the lockdown in Melbourne where we record. Lockdown 4, 5, and 6. We were going to come back. I feel like we had plans to come back that were never solid, and then lockdowns came, and we decided we never wanted to do Zoom
well,
episodes
we
again.
discussed coming back on Zoom, but realized no.
It was too expensive because we had to get half the equipment to someone else's house.
It's also sort of downgrading the podcast from because it was originally.
because we came back in person.
Yeah.
It also, and I don't want to speak, for me at least, it's a mental health burden to do it online. Like,
Yeah.
it fucking
Oh,
sucks.
fucking editing, like syncing up the audio and the video, just like, no.
But
no,
also,
I'm good.
we don't exactly have the most stable of internet connections, like either of us. So I can just remember from when we recorded Zoom during season 1.
Well, speak for yourself, mate. I've got bloody NBN now, and my house is fiber to the premises.
Well, I use the hotspot off my phone that kills itself every 20 minutes. Because if my phone overheats, it's just a safety mechanism to turn off everything.
But yeah, what else?
What the
else?
actual-
Oh well, yeah, obviously lockdowns, but we're out of it now, and it looks like there will be no more.
Well, it looks like if there's ever a lockdown again, it's not going to be centralized to all of Melbourne. So surely it shouldn't affect us, and it shouldn't affect us for long enough anyways.
I'm gonna make a bet that might age very poorly. There will never be another lockdown.
I would like to disagree. That there's going to be one more lockdown, I reckon.
All right, what's the wager on this?
I just reckon a point on the leaderboard. Oh, we should probably touch on the leaderboard because a lot of things. Okay, the name of the podcast has changed, so that means practically everything online has changed. The website, that was too expensive. We have killed the website, which means the leaderboard is going back to the bit.ly, which is bit.ly/Zac Rita leaderboard. And it's going to be in the description of the podcast. Problem is, we stopped updating it at episode 22. We're now at episode 39.
Oh, we should get them to do it for us.
No, I don't trust them.
If anyone feels like, oh yeah, no, we'd have to trust you guys, and we don't trust you guys at all. You're terrible.
I trust you less than them.
Then why not let them do it?
Because I'm going to do it. I just need to get...
Oh, so I'm not allowed to do it.
You can do it if you want, but you're not going to do it. Anyways, the leaderboard, it still exists. It's just not up to date at the moment. It will be up to date eventually. The social medias, they've all... I'm assuming we haven't changed them yet. We'll change them once we launch the podcast. Should be Zac and Rita everywhere. ZACANDRITA.
Other things that have happened, I moved. I live in a house now. Pretty
Twice. Where were you when we were recording? I'm pretty sure you weren't in Ormond.
Yeah, they don't need to know about that.
So you've moved twice.
I've moved twice, sure.
That's something that happened since we've been gone.
I'm full time at KFC.
I think that happened before.
No, I disagree.
Okay.
No, you might be right.
I think I'm right.
All right, you
Pretty
guys-
sure it's been happening for quite a while now.
One of my best friends got his license, lost his license.
How did he lose his license?
Speeding at the CBD.
I'm sorry because I'm sure I have good friends. Like I know this person. I'm on good terms with this person. But what a fucking idiot.
Oh yeah, I was in the car. It was quite.
Of course.
Yes. And
Wait. That doesn't apply to the podcast. That's not relevant to the podcast.
I wasn't talking about just things that are relevant to the podcast.
Just things that happened in general.
yeah, no, that's what I was asking you to come up with. Just like, what have you been up to?
Oh, okay.
Tell the people what you've
Well,
been
no,
doing.
you were about to finish your thing.
Well, this is related to the podcast. Our loyal listeners will remember Teeth Guy.
I do remember Teeth Guy. We've had a few in-depth conversations about Teeth Guy since.
Teeth Guy kissed at a club, used teeth, not enjoyable. Then another guy thought he was teeth
And
guy.
we're pretty sure the other guy listens to the podcast. Hi.
Hi. Oh,
We
won't say his
won't
name.
name you because we're not too sure if you want to be named, but hi.
But yeah, teeth guy has come into my work, I think, multiple times. And we just both stand there and like, I don't know if he remembers me. I feel like he's much more significant to my life because I brought him up on the podcast.
And not just that you brought him up on the podcast,
Also-
the events afterwards.
Well, but also I remember him because he used teeth when
Yeah,
he
he
kissed
doesn't
me.
know that you remember him so vividly because and we've had an in-depth conversation about this. We think there's a possibility teeth guy who's older than us, we agreed, has never been told he uses teeth when he kisses.
Which is really rude, but also I didn't tell him, so I can't
And
really...
we had this conversation. If you're kissing someone and if they're so bad that you realize you're never going to kiss them again, why would you tell them that they're a bad kisser? It doesn't affect you anymore.
It doesn't affect you. It's kind of the right thing to do, I think.
It's the right thing to do, but obviously, you can't be teeth guy's first kiss. That's pretty unlikely.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but it's pretty unlikely.
Maybe he just went to a club and he was like, I'm going to have my first kiss with a stranger tonight.
First kiss, full stop, with a stranger.
That would be sad. If you're going to have your first kiss, and no offense, if you haven't, don't do it at a club.
If the real teeth guy is watching, we're really sorry. Fake teeth guy, we're not talking about you.
Making out with someone at a club should almost always be a mistake. I feel like not saying I regret everyone I've kissed at a club. It's just like it's just something you do because you're drunk and horny, pretty much.
Yeah, so we had this full-on discussion. We decided that it has to have been not the first time, and because you didn't tell him that that he was using too much teeth, there's no way that the next person he kissed, he probably used too much teeth again.
Imagine if I just brought it up when he came into my work.
You kiss wrong, just letting you know.
Just like, what you do to that chicken, don't do it to people.
Oh, brilliant. Things that I've been doing, I've been trying to think about. So last time we were here on the podcast, I had moved into my own apartment in Melbourne.
You had moved into where you are now, and you have not moved since. Impressive.
That's only a year-long lease. I kind of have to be
really
here.
Impressive if you're me, but
You haven't stuck in the same place for a very long time.
or I stayed in Ormond for 6 months.
That's true. And because weren't you you were up north? You were fucking where the first case of COVID came from for lockdown 4.
You know what's actually fucked? Since the start of 2020, I've lived in 11 places.
That is so fucked. That's a place every 2 months.
But I've come a long way since then because the first place I lived in at the start of 2020 was a storage unit out the back of a gym.
I remember that storage unit was fucked, and you used to record YouTube videos there.
Well, I used to record the YouTube videos when I was up in an actual room that could sort of be considered a studio. And then they moved. I still stayed paying the same amount. They moved me into a storage unit.
Okay, yeah, that's a bit fucked.
It's fucked, especially considering I didn't really want to live in a storage unit, but also you can't really record YouTube videos in a storage unit.
No, it's a bit hard. So you just lived in it instead.
Yeah, and it was a lot harder because the room had a sink and stuff, and I had it was sort of somewhat livable. A storage unit is significantly less livable than a room.
Yeah, you make a good point.
Also, couldn't lock it from the inside.
That's fucked. That is so fucked. I mean, it's a storage unit. What do you expect?
Yeah, but it was in fucking Moorabbin, which isn't exactly known for being one of the safest suburbs.
But you're not meant to live in a storage unit. You can't complain that there weren't facilities in a place you're not meant to live in.
Yeah, no, it was my fault that I ended up there.
But you've moved on. You're not living in the storage unit anymore, which is great. Since we were last here, I practically finished an entire year of uni. That's really scary. As we talk right now, I've got 2 assignments left and 2 classes left.
Oh, that's something else that's happened since we've been gone. I'm actually in a form of education now.
First time for a long time.
Whether or not I've been doing the work is another question.
But you've got the capabilities to finish it off.
I do,
Hopefully.
and let's hope that I do.
Yeah. In other things, I bought myself a modded 3DS. It probably best.
Is that news?
Yes, it's news. I spent $400 on a modded DS, and it's not a bad financial decision because I really liked it. I've always wanted a 3DS or a DS.
I love that you spent almost the price on a Switch for a console that came out like 10 years
Yeah,
ago.
but you have to pay for games for the Switch after you've bought the Switch, whereas this,
You could have modded a Switch.
I didn't. What? That's illegal.
It's also illegal to mod a 3DS.
I didn't mod the 3DS. I bought a modded 3DS.
Oh, so that makes it fine.
I didn't break the law. One could say I did. I had no.
It's
fault.
actually not illegal to mod a console in Australia.
It just ruins your warranty.
It ruins your warranty, but yeah, there's nothing.
What
the
I don't
company
want to
can
keep
do
the
about
warranty, but the 3DS, I was never gonna have a warranty on anyways.
it. True. Yeah, we probably don't need to have an in-depth discussion about console modding.
I think it's very important to talk about my 3DS. Has anything else happened since? I was going to talk about it at the end, but it's kind of pretty important because things have happened since. Last time we recorded the podcast, and since about December, I have had a secret TikTok account. Now, it was secret for the purposes of I knew my family listened to the podcast, and I wanted them to find out naturally about the TikTok account.
Right.
Since then, I kind of took a massive break on the TikTok account because I broke my phone. But I have reached nearly 10,000 followers on this TikTok account.
Pretty a lot more impressive than how many followers the show account has.
I think I've got nearly 100,000 likes and nearly 1 million views total. A couple of weeks ago, I went viral for reviewing a toilet in, I don't know where it was, South Melbourne, that was famous. Not famous, but fuck.
I feel like everyone's very confused right now because you didn't announce what the TikTok was.
Okay, sorry. The TikTok is at Loorevoo, Loorevoo, and I review toilets once a week every Saturday morning.
Imagine if you just had like a regular TikTok where you do other shit and you just decided to review a toilet one day and that's what went viral.
That'd be really annoying. I'm glad. So I've had this account for like almost a year now, and it's kind of taking off. But I wanted Mum, Dad, and Max to find out naturally. One of the videos hit 50,000 views. Max saw it, and I was like, "You got to tell Mum and Dad." And I saw their reaction. That was that. Since now they know I'm not hiding the account from anyone. It's out there. I have a viral TikTok account.
Go and follow Zac's Loorevoo.
I mean, you don't have to, but it's there.
No, it's a requirement of listening to this show.
But what I wanted to say was, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I reviewed this toilet in South Melbourne that was famous for gay people having sex in it. And it just went stupidly viral. And I was so confused. And then I look in the comments and there's just a bunch of people going, "Oh, gays have sex here." I'm like,
So you just like happened to go into a gay beat without realizing it and record a review of the toilet and you went viral. That's pretty cool.
there was a condom on the floor. Yeah, because I was with Rita at the time. Sorry, this is a story we know. And it was kind of blowing up. And I was like, what is a beat?
Yeah.
Because I don't know gay slang.
Well, I feel that's like really old slang. But like, I only thought that slang wasn't used anymore because I didn't think gay people still had sex in toilets because I thought that was a thing that was based on the fact that it was in a time when they would have been hiding the fact that they were gay because there was a lot more discrimination. So I was very surprised to hear that it's still common for gay people to have sex in toilets.
If you're looking for it, I think it's public toilet 169. I don't know where it is. It's in South Melbourne, though, and near South Melbourne. Do we want to move on to the next thing? Is there anything else that's happened since we've been gone? I feel like we might have to touch on since we've been gone throughout the episode.
Yeah, no,
but in
I'm
saying that, we are
happy to
quite
move on.
Perfect. I need to find out which one I'm pressing. I'm pressing this one.
No, we
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
you didn't even announce what it was.
No, I thought it was an opener, but it's not an opener. The last episode we recorded was Zac and Gus are taking a quick break. We took a very long break, and we said a few things in the episode on why we have to come back. And these are the few things I wanted to point out.
No, we kind of have to come back because I owe one of our listeners a TV.
You do?
There's loose ends. We can't just leave them all dangling.
Well, I nearly died this week.
And we got to find out about that.
So we will come back. There we go. That's end. We will come back.
Indeed, we cannot leave them all dangling.
Well, so the first
Like
thing,
that shit over there. It's dangling.
so outside of my apartment, you can see there's a building that blocks half of my view, and then I've got a nice view on the other half. But on the other half, there's just plastic dangling from someone's apartment balcony, and it's been there, I kid you not, since I moved in. And people live in that building, and there's people live on that floor and the floor below them. So both parties have definitely seen it, and no one has bothered to get rid of it.
Very disrespectful.
It's also plastic, so it's killing the environment.
So you nearly died?
No, that's not the important thing. Why the fuck? I'm pretty sure you owe Lewis a TV.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. How did I just brush over that? So
Why do you owe Lewis a TV?
I genuinely, it was something on the podcast.
It was something on the podcast. I do remember that.
It was some dumb game where I was like, oh, I'm going to give a TV away. The thing is, it was because I had a TV that I didn't need, and I might since have not had that TV anymore.
The good thing is, if it is, is it definitely Lewis?
It's Lewis.
Okay, Lewis, no offense, you didn't follow up on it. Like, I'm sorry, if you're getting a free TV, you got to try a bit harder.
Yeah, true. But like, I still feel kind of obligated to do it because I said I would.
But you don't have the TV anymore. You can't just give Lewis a TV you don't own.
Well, I can buy a TV to give to Lewis.
You are not wasting.
All I have to do.
The amount of money
I have to do is technically give him a TV.
The amount of money you owe me, you are not spending money on Lewis's TV. No offense, Lewis.
I could literally go on Gumtree, find like a shitty old TV for like $5 and give it to him.
You could. Op shops do also sell TVs. So does a tip shop down where I used to live. Don't know if we ever doxed me. No, now is not the time.
I think you say the word fuck way too much.
You are a cunt. It's going to be so painful to go back and edit in the audio. I have to find 21 minutes, Zach. That's what you're fucking looking for. You're a cunt.
How are you going to know that's not a note to show you what the 21 minutes is because it's also at the 21 minutes?
Hey,
I'm an asshole, aren't I?
you are an asshole. Hey, Siri, set a reminder, 21 minutes. 21 minutes. This is so fucking useless. Anyways, yeah. You can't just go on your phone. Oh, for fuck's sake, Siri's useless. Anyways.
Yeah.
There's a TV. You could probably find one in the tip shop there.
I'll just go to the tip.
Yeah, you could. You want to talk about how I nearly died?
Well,
This was a story I was planning for the episode that we were meant to record before we took a break. I was new to Melbourne, kind of still learning my surrounds.
Surroundings?
Surrounds the city.
It's never been said.
I don't give a fuck. Melbourne Central, on one of the corners near Hungry Jack's, there is a cross intersection of trams. I was walking and I jaywalked. That's the issue. I've been done for jaywalking before. I obviously have not learned my lesson.
I can't believe you've been done for the most like non-crime crime in existence when I haven't. Like
I got done by an unmarked car, which is even worse. Well, anyways, I was crossing the crossing, and I get halfway through, and I look one way for trams.
Yeah.
And I walk literally right in front of a tram. When I say the tram was where the windows are, and like to you, the tram was speeding through the fucking intersection. It dings, and I go, holy shit, there's a tram coming from the other way. I jump back so fast that an elderly couple who were waiting for the tram go, holy fuck. And asked me if I was okay.
An elderly holy fuck. That's impressive.
And yeah, so I nearly died. Like, because if I got hit by a tram at that speed,
yeah,
I would be hit into a tram stop. It wouldn't be a nice sort of, like I'd have two options for where I would be hit. In front of the tram for the tram to roll over me, or to the side and put into incoming traffic, or just enough to hit a tram stop, which would probably do a lot of damage too.
Based on the story, it kind of sounds like it was completely your fault.
I'm not saying it wasn't my fault. I can't pretend that the tram shouldn't have been there. The tram has everywhere.
How the fuck did you just look one way?
I don't know. I thought I'd done my job. I thought the tram was coming from that way. It's like I thought, I don't know. For some reason, I thought the trams would only come from the tram stop area, not from before. Fucked up big time. Almost died. And I have this feeling that it's not the only. Oh!
I mean, I can tell a story about when I almost died. Mine's I can't actually shit talk Zac at all for that because my almost died story that comes to mind is significantly dumber.
Yeah, please tell.
So I was up in bloody Donny.
Doncaster.
Hanging
No
out.
one calls it Donny.
Oh, the Donny lads do.
No, but That's so sad. No one calls it Donny.
No, the Donny lads do.
I love how this podcast has really, it's gone from a mix of Geelong and Melbourne vibes to 100% Melbourne vibes.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, yeah, I was chilling with some. I don't think they were Doncaster Eshays. We were just people who happened to be in Doncaster. Some of us might have been Eshays. I wasn't. Anyway, was hanging out with some cool kids.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they were so cool.
No, they were. They were. Anyway, sorry, I just paused because the video paused. Ruined my flow, Zach.
Oh, I'm sorry that we have to worry about the video now.
Absolutely
Because
fucked.
in case you haven't noticed, we're not doing the drinks break. We decided that was a bit. It was old. It died.
Zach just doesn't want that sweet, sweet cash.
No, I
Those
don't want.
Zach's just not good enough at chasing that bag.
I don't want to have to deal with no one wanting to buy out the drinks break anymore.
Wasn't the last time it was bought the most money we'd ever gotten, though?
No. I feel like, I don't know.
Look,
It doesn't matter. The drinks break is dead. We don't need to bring it back.
look, yeah, regardless. Anyway, story. So, yeah, I was with these really cool kids. Not shit-talking them. They were really cool.
Okay, so it sounds like you're shit talking them and they're not cool. Okay,
No,
I'm on the same page as you now.
No, like genuinely cool.
I'm sure they are.
Fuck off. Anyway, so I got in a trolley, right? And I was being pushed in a trolley.
Oh no. There's like only one way this can end. It's very bad.
I was being pushed in a trolley, and we were just like leaving a shopping center, and we were going to like explore this abandoned building
Yeah.
because like that's the kind of thing cool kids do.
I guess you can kind of say it's kind of a cool thing to do.
Abandoned buildings are cool. Anyway,
Debatable. They're all right.
I'd argue they're one of the coolest.
Okay,
things.
you are dying. We've got an entire episode worth of planning.
fuck,
And we are not yet to the third thing.
Yeah, nah, all right, yeah,
It's
nah.
fine. We don't need to hurry up because all of these things can last longer.
Pretty much, I was getting pushed across the road in a trolley. We didn't wait for a green light. And there was a lot of oncoming traffic that wasn't very far away. And it got to the point where we realized we would get hit. And the person pushing me sped up. And we made it by like a second.
That is so fucking worrying. You're a fucking idiot. Well, if it helps, I just remembered another thing. I almost died again in between the break that we took on the podcast. It was, I kid you not, my birthday. I almost died 1 a.m. on my birthday. This is before I've seen anyone for my birthday. I'm coming home from work at 1 a.m. on my birthday.
Yeah.
I'm walking through the city. I've got Britney Spears playing on my AirPods. Noise cancellation, which is a dumb thing to do when you're walking around at night through the city. And I've not done it since. And I was...
Oh, I always do that.
You're an idiot. I was walking...
Says the one who's telling a story about how he used
I've
to do
learned
it.
from my mistakes.
Well, I haven't clearly had a mistake yet.
Good point. I am waiting in an intersection and I was just really off put because it was like 1 a.m. I just finished an 8-hour shift and some dudes came up to me and they were like, oh, can we buy your AirPods? And I was like, is this a joke? Or are they actually wanting to take my AirPods off me? And I was like, no, haha. And then the thing, and I'd been waiting at this intersection for the crossing to go off for like 2 minutes. And then I hear the of the crossing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, I can walk now. It was for the other side of the road. And I walk into oncoming traffic. And
Yeah, fuck.
I don't notice because
Oh, no.
I've got AirPods in.
Oh, no.
And thank fuck.
Wait, so what was the outcome of the people coming up to you and asking to buy your AirPods?
Oh, they crossed because their side of the road fucking started
so were
crossing.
they genuinely asking to just buy your...
I think they were just drunk and being idiots.
True.
But yes, I walked into oncoming traffic, and if it wasn't for some really nice driver who slowed down and honked at me, I would have probably died. Fun.
Yeah. Well, fuck.
Yeah, well, fuck, big fuck.
After hearing that story, I'm still gonna wear.
I'm not surprised.
I'm still gonna wear my AirPods with noise cancellation on because it's so good. You don't have to listen to people.
Yeah, but it's kind of a problem if you're looking out for your life crossing a road.
Well, you could also just wait to see the light go green.
It was on my phone.
That's even worse. That's worse than having the noise cancellation on.
Well, no, because if the noise cancellation was on, then I would have been more aware of my surroundings.
If you hadn't have been looking at your phone, you would have seen the green light. You could say either of those. Neither of those were the issue. It was both of them together that was the issue.
Yeah, well, I've learned from my issue, and I don't do either of those things. I have my AirPods on transparency mode, and now I look at my phone when I'm crossing the road. No, I don't look at my phone when I'm crossing the road. Don't stress out for me. I look after myself now.
Anyway,
Are we moving on to the third thing in the podcast? What a move.
this is exciting. This is a story that I've wanted to tell Zach for a while because whenever something cool happens in our lives, we just don't tell each other.
We try to save it for the podcast, which has been it's kind of gone out the door in the past 7
hard
months.
when you don't do the podcast for 7 months. Because that would also require that I write these things down as they come, and I really just don't.
And in case if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Rita has never planned for a podcast.
I didn't write down this story until today, even though you told me to tell it, write it down weeks ago.
I was practically begging because I was like, you're going to forget it.
But I haven't.
You haven't, which is good.
I just don't think I could forget this story. It was such a monumental... This could be an I almost died technically. It wasn't, but it could have very easily been.
Well, hit me.
So, I'm coming home from work, right? It's late. I think it was a 12 to 8 shift, which suck.
No, all 8-hour shifts fucking suck, especially if you're working in hospo.
And it's fucking
Or
bus
food
replacements on the Frankston line. Anyway, that's kind of irrelevant to the story. The point is, I get to Moorabbin Station and... No, I'm on the bus replacement. That's why it was relevant. This guy fucking comes up to me on the bus, looks homeless, and he asks me for money for a coffee. And I'm like, oh, yeah, nah, sorry, mate. I don't have any coins.
Which is true because you generally don't. We've heard a lot of stories.
And then I got off the bus and I felt bad that I didn't buy him a coffee because I was like, I should buy him a coffee.
Which you don't have to.
Yeah. But I was like, well, it's $1 from 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was like, oh, I might just go to the 7-Eleven with him and buy him a coffee. Anyway, I realized he was going into the train station, so I didn't bother. And so he was going down to the same platform as me. So I go down to the platform and he comes up and he offers me a cigarette. And I'm like, yeah, well, I didn't give him a coffee. I may as well just sit and have a smoke with this guy. It's the least I can do.
I would have thought it would be bad to take a cigarette and not give the poor dude a coffee.
Well, it seemed like he wanted me to have a cigarette with him.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess if he's offering, it's not the normal thing to do. You don't offer someone a cigarette, I guess.
Yeah, and he offered me a cigarette. He had no filters. So and I didn't want to be rude, so I smoked it anyway. Not enjoyable. Also, way worse for you than smoking a cigarette already is.
Because a filter does what its name would imply, which is filters out the shit.
It filters out a lot of the bad stuff, but a lot of it still gets through. But if there's no filter, it's all getting through. It's all getting through.
You fucking idiot.
It also sort of fucking just hurts.
I'm not surprised.
It's like you're just pouring tar into your lungs because you are.
Because it's not like cigarettes are good for you.
I've only done that a few times ever.
It's probably a few times more than you ever should have.
Yeah, anyway, look, that's not the point. Didn't want to be rude. It was the least I could do.
I guess.
So we're talking. It's a pretty bland conversation. I'm not going to lie. We didn't have much we could relate on. But he ended up just straight up asking me. He was like, oh, my place to stay has fallen through tonight.
No.
Can I come and stay at your place?
And at this point, you've rejected a coffee and you've taken a ciggy.
Yeah.
You flog.
So I was just sitting there and I sat there in silence for, I'm no kidding, a minute. I just sat there and said nothing. And then I was like, yeah, all right.
No. No.
I just couldn't think of a good enough reason to say no.
No, you could just say I don't have the space.
Yeah.
You don't have the space. Was this when you were living in Ormond?
Yes.
Where the fuck did the dude sleep?
Well, we'll get to that. But I just felt
Oh my lord.
I couldn't say no because I felt like an asshole.
Yes, it would have been an asshole thing to do, but you don't owe someone.
I know, but look, the point is, I said yes. I wanted to be nice.
Oh man, that's a bit too nice.
And so I agree. Anyway, so we got on the train together. And he was like, "Oh, thank you so much." He gave me a bunch of caramel.
Like
Just little caramel lollies.
what, as a reward?
I guess it's like payment.
Why would you take...
That's one night's rent.
No. You're letting a stranger into your house.
Yeah.
You're accepting food from a stranger.
He wanted to offer me something in
They
return.
could have been fucking laced, you idiot.
Well, look, I just...
Okay, no, but if you look in hindsight, and obviously you're still here, think about the opportunity.
he was eating them too, so I felt like they would be safe.
He could have had laced ones and not laced ones. This could be his plan.
You really think he would like... No, they were all in the same fucking pocket. You wouldn't know which ones were laced and which ones weren't.
Oh, mate, you are an idiot. I don't know how.
Look, to be fair, I ate one of them and I didn't eat any other ones.
Cannot believe you did this.
Also, they were fucking wrapped. Like, the effort he would have had to go to.
I don't know well, obviously he didn't lace you, but...
No, he didn't. Which
is
And that's the thing. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Mate, fucking... The dude has already given you a cigarette without a filter, and you want to give him the benefit of a doubt of a caramel.
Fair. So then we get to Ormond, and we're just walking past this random restaurant. He's like, "Oh, you want a can of Coke?"
Was he going to buy you a can of Coke?
Yeah, I guess he wanted to like a bit more rent, caramels and Coke. So he goes into this restaurant, buys 2 cans of Coke, and he gives me a can of Coke, and he's like, "Oh, do you like Coke?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, no.
I'm like, "Yeah, it's not bad." And that was that. So then, we get back to mine, and at this point, I'm like, "Fuck." Well, I guess it would be like awkward because I was tired as fuck. I was like, it'd be awkward to just go to bed straight away. Like, I guess I kind of have to like stay up and chat with him. So
No. You don't owe the homeless man.
no, I definitely didn't, but this is how I was thinking.
Oh, no.
So anyway, I stayed up and talked with him for a bit. He kept offering me more cigarettes. I had filters, so I kept smoking cigarettes with filters.
Well, that's good. At least you fucking weren't ruining your lungs as much this time.
And yeah, pretty much, I told him, I was like, "Oh, sorry, man, I'm really tired. I'm going to get to bed." And then...
Does he go to sleep with you? No, like, does he go to sleep at the same time?
Oh, yeah, I invited him to sleep in my bed. No, that's a bit too far.
That's
even
not what
for
I meant.
me,
I meant,
Zach.
does he go to sleep at the same time or does he stay up?
No, he told me that he probably would have... He was like, "I'll probably get to sleep around 3.
What the fuck?
So I go to bed, and I didn't actually want to go to sleep. I just wanted to be alone and
I get
fucking
that.
watch YouTube. So I connected my AirPods to the TV and started watching YouTube. And he kept coming back to my room to like ask me, like offer me cigarettes.
Oh my God.
Like I had made it clear that I wanted to like get rest, and he just kept coming back to the door.
Hypothetical, this is why you don't invite strangers to your house.
And then, so eventually I'm like, "Oh, fuck it. Maybe if I get up and have another smoke, he won't bother me anymore."
Oh, you idiot.
So I went out, I had another smoke, and then I was like, "Okay, man, I'm going to sleep now." And so I go into my room, and a little while passes, and he comes to my door, and he wasn't asking me to come out of the room. He was like, "Oh, do you have any food?"
Oh no.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, I think there's some noodles or something."
Oh no.
I think there's some noodles or something in the kitchen. And he's like, "Oh yeah, noodles, sick." And then he goes to the kitchen and I just hear him rummaging. Like, I kid you not, this guy made so much fucking noise. Just like looking through my kitchen. And I didn't have much food.
Did he take anything?
Oh no, he was like rummaging for ages, like fucking looking through it. He comes back into my room and he's like, "Oh, can I cook some chips?"
Oh my God.
And I have a stockpile of chips, so I didn't really care. I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Oh God.
So then I hear him fucking rummaging even more. He fucking cooked chips more loudly than I've ever heard anyone cook chips. It was like, I heard him like frying them on the stove, but then he'd go off somewhere else and he'd just be stumbling around. At one point, I think he fell over. And then he finishes cooking the chips and he comes back to my room and he's like, do you want some chips? And I already told him I was going to sleep. I'm like, nah, man, I'm all good. And then he came back to my room and asked if I wanted chips like 5 more times at least.
Oh, no.
And I was getting pretty pissed off. But honestly, I should have probably just taken some chips.
I guess that every time you interact with him,
Yeah,
it
it's
gives
sort
you
of
more reason to
yeah.
interact the next time. Yeah.
But essentially, he asked me to come for another smoke after I kept denying his offers of chips. And I was like, okay.
You did not have another.
I went out and had another smoke with him. But then, you're not going to expect what happens next.
What happens next?
Right, so first off, I walk out into the lounge room and I realized why all the fucking rummaging around had been happening. He cleaned my whole lounge room.
Holy shit. And your fucking lounge room is disgusting at the best of times.
Oh, that's a bit.
Okay, it's not
that's a bit-
disgusting, but it's a bit messy.
That's a bit rude. I mean, usually I clean it when people are coming over, but I hadn't had people over in so long, and I stopped using my lounge room because I moved all my like TV and shit into my bedroom.
Yeah, you did tell me about that.
Made my bedroom into a fort. Pretty cool.
That's not that cool.
It is pretty cool.
It's cool when you're 12.
It's no, forts are way cooler when you're an adult because, like, I don't know.
Nah, when I'm an adult, I kind of just can't be fucked.
I feel like it's effort to set the fort up, but once you got that fort, holy shit, you'll never go back. Except I did.
Oh, wow, I'm not surprised.
Anyway, so he cleaned my whole lounge room.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. I thanked him for that, and then he offered me chips again, and so we went out for a smoke, and I think he got offended that I didn't want the chips.
Oh, no.
So you're not going to, like, what would you expect a homeless person to do, like, if they were, like, offended that they'd cooked you food and you didn't want it?
I just expect him to sulk.
Well, he really, no, he didn't. He just left.
So he didn't stay.
No, he didn't stay the night. He was like, he didn't specifically say it was about the chips, but he just, when we were out having that smoke, he just said, oh, I'm going to leave now. I don't want to bother you. And then he just packed up his shit and fucking
That
left.
does sound like he was offended.
Yeah.
But did you notice anything missing?
No, he didn't. I'm pretty fucking confident he didn't steal anything. He just came over.
Just sounds like he stole something.
He came over, cooked some chips, cleaned my lounge room and left. As far as I can tell, that's all that happened.
Sounds like he was a nice character.
Indeed.
One last thing before we end the podcast, because we are going quite far.
Fuck, our first 3 things got us to the end. That's crazy.
That's pretty good for us, I might say. This is a 2-minute long opener while I set up everything.
Okay.
Hello. Welcome to the first pre-recorded segment of what I think is season 3 of the podcast. And just a tip, I'm making this long enough so I can set up while you're listening to this. So, recently, Coke released their new Coke No Sugar. They did a few promo runs. It was on Kiss FM's drive show Will and Woody.
Do you want to try this new Coke? We reckon it's the best Coke ever.
But when it went on our fave, Kyle and Jackie O, there was a bit of a different reception to it.
You know, I'm the face, the ambassador, the main man over at Coca-Cola with the Coca-Cola No Sugar. You're going to be blown away. Well, this new one,
Do I have to put it on
if
now?
you are a Coke original type of guy like I am, that's all you care about. This one's good.
I'm going to be honest. It is like Coke Zero.
No, it's not.
It's like Coke.
Right.
It's not. Not one person who's tried it has ever said that. They've said, oh, it tastes just like the Coke original.
So, Rita, because you're kind of the resident taste tester on the podcast,
Now, presenting Big Mac versus Big Jack. And I'm going to taste test both of them. And then I'm going to decide which one is better. I was thinking definitely the Big Jack. But then that signature Macca's flavor hit me. This is the second burger.
Disgusting. How the hell
That
do we have a
signature
podcast?
McDonald's flavor is there again. So I'm going to say, yep, this is the Hungry Jack's Big Jack.
Okay.
Holding them both
that's
side
good.
by side. This is definitely the Big Jack, which I identified as the Big Mac.
No, it didn't.
This is the Big Mac,
I don't know, just
which
like
I
reminding
identified
people.
Would have been
as
so
the
easy to
Big
just
Jack.
have that shit
Perfect.
sitting
The
off frame
Big Mac,
and just
which was
carry it in.
actually the
I
Big
knew the
Jack,
coconut was quite long.
which I thought was better,
Do you remember
is
this, everyone?
indeed the Big Jack. The Big Jack is the winner, but also, yeah, I got them mixed up. Didn't know which was which.
I decided it's your responsibility to pick the real Coke. So, hope this isn't important anymore because I explained the rules and the rules have changed since. Audio listeners, as you might have imagined, in front of Rita, we have.
Wait, I'm confused.
Were you listening to the opener? I was going to explain the thing. I didn't explain it. Let me explain it.
Yeah, explain it.
So we have in front of Rita the Coca-Cola Classic and the new flavor, Coca-Cola No Sugar, which Kyle and Jackie O claim to taste the same.
So has this replaced the old one? already?
The old one.
So they've just gotten rid of the old one.
And the new one has a blackout logo.
I do genuinely think Coke No Sugar or Coke Zero, how it used to be called, did always taste very obviously different.
So that's the game. I'm going to pour about a shot's worth of each drink in the glass.
Oh, that's what
You're
the
going to be
blindfold's
blindfolded.
for.
And
This is fun. I like this.
the game is for two. Okay, so you gamble it with a bit. So you can take a sip of the first drink,
Yeah.
whichever one you choose, and then you can
Do I
take
get a palate cleanser?
No, an outright guess. Too bad. I didn't think about that. And an outright guess for 2 points on the leaderboard. But if you get it wrong, I get 2 points. Or you can have both of them and then guess which one is the Coke or the no sugar. Just guess which they are for 1 point.
So I have to guess on the first one to get 2 points.
Guess on the first one to get 2 points. So if I pour you the Coke and if you pick up the Coke, the regular, and you drink it and you go, that's the Coke regular, then you've got 2 points. But you don't have to guess on the first round. If you do and you get it wrong, I get the 2 points.
Righto, I think I'm ready.
Perfect. Okay, so audio listeners, I'm going to chop in what happened so you don't have to worry about that. Video listeners, watch the video.
Imagine if I could tell by the crack sound.
I hope you're not able to see.
I wouldn't cheat.
I hope not. So I just wanted to get that on the microphone for everyone.
This is very uncomfortable. What do you call it? A blindfold.
Perfect. You can take your blindfold off now. Because there's no reason, because they're open and I may or may not have switched them around. So you can take the first one, and I have explained. So I've explained to the audio listeners in post which one's in which.
Okie dokie.
You're taking the left one.
First off, I'm going to examine the color. Very obvious difference, actually. Just in how they look.
Sure?
In how they look, yeah, I think so.
Okie dokie. Well, I mean,
All right.
make your call sooner or later because we're about to hit 50 minutes. You've taken the left one. And you can guess for 2 points, but you don't have to.
I think that's Coke.
You think that's Coke?
I think that's Coke. What?
That's
Okay.
the Coke no sugar.
Now I got to try this. Very slightly different.
That's good on Coke.
Yeah, that's a lot better. That's definitely a lot better than it used to be. Very
And we
impressive.
didn't get paid for that promo. But with that, we have hit
Which
almost
is
50 minutes.
which is good because I've always had Coke no sugar, and everyone always judges me for it. They're like, "Oh, it's gross." I never found the old flavor to be that gross, but it was definitely not as good as regular Coke.
But we should probably end it sooner or later. It's been...
Oh, I could talk about Coke for another 15
I'm
minutes.
just saying, we pay for this time. We don't want to pay for you talking about Coke. It's been fun being back.
It has been fun being back. Look forward to this coming back into your ear holes every week. New day.
New day. Yeah, we have agreed on a Wednesday, but you'll know because you're listening to this on a Wednesday, and we've announced it on our social medias that they're coming out on Wednesdays.
No more quick little breaks, hopefully, and
Well, We'll see you guys next Wednesday. What a weird thing to say.
Oh my God, what a great podcast episode.
Thank you so much for listening.
And you can find us
At Zac and Rita on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
and YouTube.
and you can get in contact with the show anytime. ZacandRitaShow@gmail.com.